Good evening, welcome to the Kemet Maasai Academy. Wherever you are watching, wherever in the world you are watching, you're welcome. And we're going to be continuing our critical thinking skills, looking at sample questions. We're focusing on labels of common things, regular things that we use every day, that we take for granted. So we're studying the labels and analyzing to see what are some of the things that we've been overlooking and taking for granted. Hi Zoe, welcome. In studio so far I have Nordica. For those who want to follow, those who want to join the studio, that's the link. Hi Linda. So use the link above to join the studio crew, right? All right, so we have Nardika, we have Amoy. Hello, young ladies.
Good afternoon, Miss.
How are you?
Hi, Miss.
Fine, Miss.
Okay, we have Adelia. So remember do you remember what we said we're going to look at today?
Yes, Miss.
What?
We are going to look at the survey crackers.
Savory.
Yes,
Savory
Miss.
crackers. Okay.
Yes,
Very
Miss.
good, you remembered. And did you do the homework? Who remembers the homework that we gave yesterday? So I'm going to ask you a little later on. When the others have joined, we're going to look at the homework. So let me share the screen so we can get started. Someone just joined. We have Caitlin. Hi, Caitlin. All right. So we're almost full here in the studio. Hi, DeAndre. Hi, Linda. Oh, Linda is Caitlin. Yeah, I know. Forgive me. I know some of the students log on using their parents' device, the device that was registered in their parents' name or somebody else's name. But you see, you have to forgive me because that's the name I have to go by unless you tell me otherwise. So it's PEP critical thinking skills, and we're going to look at the savory crackers. Wow, we're jam-packed in the studio tonight. As you know, when we get to a certain point, we'll do our exchange and we'll ask some of the students who participate in the first half to switch places, right? So just hang on a bit. So we're to examine the information on the packet of these savory crackers and answer the questions that follow. Remember to read carefully and observe. Very important, that is highlighted. So we're to examine the information on the packet of these savory crackers and answer the questions that follow. And we are to remember to read carefully and observe. Nordica, question 1, please.
Question 1. Approximately how many crackers are contained in the packet? Question 1. Approximately how many crackers are contained in the packet? Miss, I got my answer.
What's your answer?
It will be 7 crackers.
7 crackers.
Miss, why would it be 7 crackers? Is because right on the nutrient facts,
Mm-hmm.
it says 3.5 servings per container, serving size 7 crackers.
Okay. Does anyone else have any other answer? So Nordica is saying there are 7 crackers in this packet. Does everyone agree with that?
Yes, Miss.
All right, let me see in the chat. Shaheem says he agrees. Coleman says no. Coleman, what's your answer? Alana. Amari. Oh, so Amari is giving the answer for the homework. Yeah, so
Miss,
the homework that I gave out yesterday was the name of the person who walks in their sleep. So Amari is giving his. Did anyone else find the answer for that question? So
Yes, I
Amari,
found the word, but I have a bit of trouble pronouncing.
okay. Amari says it's somnambulism. That is the condition. So the person is a what?
Sleepwalker.
Or the scientific name, somnambulist. Somnambulist. All right. So Alana says 3.5 crackers. Nordica and who else was it? Said 7.
Me, Miss.
Miss,
Is that who is that? Amoy?
Miss, I'm not, Miss, but I got 24.5, Miss.
Who is that speaking? All of you sound the same like little babies.
Miss
Who is that?
Amoy.
Okay, Amoy says 24.5. Coleman says 24.5. Alana says 24.5. So approximately, the question says approximately how many crackers? So we're to round it off.
Miss, so
Coleman
it
says
would
he's
be
not a baby.
25
It would be approximately 25 crackers, not 7.
crackers.
Right. So for those who said 7, remember that it's the 7 is just the serving size. The 7 is 1 serving. But how many servings it says that there are in the container? 3.5 servings. So each serving will have 7 crackers, but there are 3.5 servings. So we have to multiply first and round it up because they want us to approximate, right? So those who said 7, you overlooked something. 7 is just 1 serving. There are 3.5 servings, so we have to multiply. All right. I know 10-year-olds are not babies, Coleman. I simply said you sound like babies. And you all sound the same. So sometimes I have a hard time knowing who is speaking because you all sound the same. All right. So, Amoy, please read question 2.
Okay, Miss. Question 2. If someone ate the entire packet of crackers, how many calories would they gain? If someone ate the entire packet of crackers, how many calories would they gain? Miss?
Mm-hmm.
Miss 150 calories?
All right. Any other answer? Any other answer? So, Amoy says 150 calories. Does everyone agree? If someone were to eat the entire packet. Hi, Jamaican girl. I love that name. I just love that name. If the person ate the entire pack.
Miss?
Yes.
Miss, I changed my answer, Miss.
All right, Amoy, what do you change it to?
Miss, 850 calories.
How did you get 850 calories?
Miss, I realized that it says amount per serving, Miss, is 150, Miss. Miss, so I guess when you eat the 7 crackers, Miss, it would be 150, Miss. Miss, and for the first question, Miss, where it asks how many crackers are in the bag, Miss, it's 25, Miss. I multiplied 25 times 150, Miss, and I got 850 calories.
There's an error with that. The 150 is the 7 crackers, right?
Yes, Miss.
So if you're working it per cracker, you can't just multiply the 25 by 150. You would have to find the unit value first. But they have already told us the per serving, how many servings. They
Miss,
told us
3.5.
it's 3.5 servings, and one serving is 150. So it wouldn't be the 7 you multiply the 150 by. So check again.
Miss, Miss, I multiplied 150 times 3.5
And you got
and
what?
got 525.
And that would be correct. And Alana also got that, right? So remember now, look at the label carefully. The 150 calories is if you eat one serving, which is the 7 crackers. If you eat 7 crackers or one serving, you're going to get 150 calories. There are 3.5 servings. So you have to multiply, if you're going to eat the entire packet, you would have to multiply the 150 by 3.5, and that's 525 calories. Odelia, question 3, please.
Yes, Miss. Number 3. How much more milligrams of total fat is present than sodium? Number 3. How much more milligrams of total fat is present than sodium?
Mm-hmm. All right. Who is ready for that? Who is ready for that one? Anybody ready for question 3? Who is ready for question 3? How much more milligrams of total fat is present than sodium? Amari, welcome. Who is ready for question 3?
Good night, Miss.
Good night.
Miss, how many milligrams make a gram?
How many milligrams make a gram? Who knows? How many milligrams make a gram? Who knows? Who knows? Who knows?
1,000?
Okay, 1,000 milligrams per gram. So, how many more milligrams of total fat is present than sodium? Who is ready for that one? I see Alana says 4,400. Or did you come by that one, ma'am?
Miss,
Anybody
I got
else?
6,900 milligram.
Shalicia says 6,900. How did you get that, Shalicia?
Miss, since the total fat is in grams, I
Mm-hmm.
converted grams to milligrams by multiplying 7 times 1,000.
Mm-hmm.
Got 7,000, and then you would subtract 100 from 7,000 and got 6,000.
That is absolutely right, Shalicia. Absolutely right. Okay, and it's actually your turn, Shalicia, to read. Question 4.
Question 4. Express the amount of protein present as a ratio of the total carbohydrate. Question 4. Express the amount of protein as a ratio of the total carbohydrate.
Okay, so for my scholars who did ratio today, here's your chance to check out how skillful you were.
Yes, miss.
Yeah. They want you to express the amount of protein present as a ratio of the total
Miss,
carbohydrate.
that looks easy, no, miss. So,
It
miss,
certainly does look
miss,
easy.
so it would be 2 to 20, miss. Miss, does it also mean the percent or just the
The ratio.
okay, so miss, I'm going to work that real quick.
Mm-hmm. Coleman is saying 10 to 1. Coleman
Miss,
says 10 to 1. What do you say, Amari?
I got 1 to 10, miss.
1 to 10. So who is right? Is it Amari with 1 to 10 or Coleman with 10 to 1? Why do
Miss,
you
I
say
also
10 to 1?
Miss,
Yes?
I got 1 to 10, miss.
All right. So I want Amari to tell me how he got 1 to 10 first.
So, miss, I said 2. Miss, I said if I wrote it first, miss, I said 2 grams and 20 grams, miss. Miss,
Mm-hmm.
then I put 2 over the 20, miss. And then, miss, I cancelled it by 2, miss. And then, miss, 2 divided by 2 is 1. And 20 divided by 2 is 10, miss. So I got 1 to 10.
But why not 10 to 1, as Coleman says?
Miss,
Why not 10 to 1?
miss, I'm not sure which one is the first one, miss, but I put the small number first.
Is that always the way we do it? We have to put the
No,
small
miss.
one
No,
first.
miss. No, miss.
Caitlin, why do you say 1 to 10? Who else said 1 to 10?
Miss,
Miss,
I
I
said
said
1
1
to
to
10,
10.
miss.
Why not 10 to 1?
Miss, because in the question, miss, it says protein present as a ratio of the total carbohydrate, miss. Miss, so it would be protein to the total carbohydrates.
Mm-hmm. Right. So
So,
for ratio, it's very important that you put it in the order that it is given, right? That's important for ratio. If they had said, what's the ratio of total carbohydrate to protein, then it
miss, it
would
would
be
be
the
10
20
to
to 2 and the 10 to 1, right? But the protein is listed first and then the total carbohydrate. That's very important in ratio. So we have to put the 2 first and then the 20, and that would be reduced as 1 to 10 and not 10 to 1. Amari, your turn to read. Question 5.
Question 5. Would these crackers be recommended for someone suffering from rickets? Explain your answer. Would these crackers be recommended for someone suffering from rickets? Explain your answer.
Would we recommend someone suffering from rickets?
Miss,
While we're thinking about that, Alana is saying she does not understand what we were explaining. So, Alana, when you're doing ratio, it's very important that you look to see which item or which name is listed first, and you have to list the ratio in accordance with that. So, because the protein was listed first and then the total carbohydrates, we had to put the 2 and then the 20, and not 20 first and then 2, right? So Coleman is asking, what is rickets? What is rickets? Who wants to explain what is rickets before we can decide if we would recommend these crackers to someone who is suffering from rickets? Does anyone want to explain?
Miss, I don't know too much about rickets, Miss, but I can give a meaning, Miss.
What's the meaning?
Miss,
It's it's like a deficiency of vitamin D because
Okay,
like
deficiency of vitamin D, or what other nutrients could also be deficient?
calcium.
Calcium. All right. So it's a bone disease where you have deformities of the bone, softening of the bone because of a lack of vitamin D or calcium. So, based on the nutrition facts that we're looking at on this pack of crackers, would we recommend these crackers for someone who is suffering from rickets?
Miss,
No, Miss.
Why not?
Miss, it has zero vitamin D and zero calcium.
Exactly. It has zero vitamin D. Do you see that?
yes, Miss.
And zero calcium. 0%.
Miss, I
0
was
milligrams.
about to say, Miss, I was about to say vitamin D, but I wasn't going to say the calcium, Miss.
Okay. So rickets is a deficiency disease caused from the lack of vitamin D and calcium. So if someone is suffering from rickets, they would need to get to eat foods that are rich in vitamin D and calcium. This crackers has 0 milligrams of vitamin D, 0 milligrams, 0 micrograms, 0 milligrams, 0% of the daily requirement. So we definitely would not be recommending this for
Miss,
someone
you're
who
not
would
supposed
need.
to have fish or eggs when you have rickets either, Miss.
Why not?
Miss, I just looked it up, Miss. I said, what should you avoid when you have rickets? And
And
then
what's the rationale for that?
Miss, it says, you should eat a vegetarian diet that doesn't include fish, eggs, or milk, Miss.
Well, being a vegetarian, well, I have a little fish once in a while, but mainly vegetarian. I would have to say that I endorse that. All right, so we're back to Nordica, question 6.
Miss, somebody got kicked out, Miss.
Miss,
So I think it
question
was a
6.
boy, Miss.
How many calories are recommended for the average person to consume per day? Question 6. How many calories are recommended for the average person to consume per day? Miss, I got to work it out.
Okay.
Miss, I would say 2,000 calories a day, Miss, is used, Miss, because it says, Miss, it says 2,000 calories a day is used for general nutrition advice, Miss.
Okay. All right. So 2,000 calories a day. That is correct. And calories is the way we measure the energy that we get from food. Over in the chat, let me keep up with the chat. Oh, Zoe says she got kicked out, but she's going to
Wait,
rejoin.
excuse me,
So,
Miss. I'm just realizing that I'm in the show because I'm so focused on answering in the chat that I don't even realize.
oh, welcome, Coleman. All right, so DeAndre says rickets is a disease in lack of vitamin D. Um, DeAndre. Jamaican girl says question 5. No, she would not recommend it because it has no calcium and vitamin D. All right. Good night, Lorraine. You're always welcome whether or not you are late. All right, so Amare was correct with that question. When we get to question 10, we're going to switch round. So, question 7. Let me see who is still on because some persons got kicked out. All right, so it should be Odelea.
Yes, Miss.
All right.
Number 7. What is enriched wheat flour? Number 7. What is enriched wheat flour?
Okay, what is enriched wheat flour?
Found the answer, Miss. I'm gonna read it. Okay, Miss. So it says enriched grains are refined grains that have been fortified with additional nutrients, Miss.
Please read again.
Enriched grains are refined grains that have been fortified with additional nutrients.
Okay. All right, so based on the ingredients, the label, they tell us exactly what are the nutrients that have been used to fortify the enriched wheat flour. So, what are these nutrients that have been added?
Excuse me, Miss.
Yes, Nardika?
But why but why you said wheat flour though?
It is wheat flour. You have different types of flour.
But Miss, what I was thinking that why do they call it wheat flour is because the flour come from wheat.
This particular flour comes from the wheat, but you have rye flour, you have millets, you have barley, you have cornmeal, which is a flour from corn. The flour is really just the processed powdery part that you get from crushing the grain, and we have many different grains. So generally speaking, when we say flour, we really mean wheat flour, right? But you have many different types of flour.
No, I
So
understand, Miss.
yes, so this is made from wheat flour. So what are the nutrients that have been added to fortify or enrich the flour? Do you pick it up on the label here? So beside enriched flour, we have in brackets, and the bracket closes here. So open brackets here, close brackets here. So all of these nutrients are added to enrich the flour. Who wants to read that list for me?
Miss, I would like to.
I'll do it, Miss.
Nardika, go ahead.
No.
Who said, was it Nardika who said she'd like to do it?
Miss, it was both of us, Miss.
So Nardika, you've changed your mind?
Miss, it was. Miss, I surrender. I wanted to read to Miss.
Amari, you go.
Okay, Miss. Ingredients: enriched flour, wheat flour, niacin, reduced iron,
Niacin.
niacin, reduced iron, thiamine, maron,
Mm? After thiamine, mononitrate. thiamine mononitrate. Amari, did we lose him?
Miss, my mic was off this entire time, Miss.
Continue.
Thiamine, mononitrate, riboflavin, folic acid, ascorbic acid added as a
Though,
as a dough conditioner, enzymes, water.
no, that's it. That's it. The bracket closes there.
Okay.
So all of those are the enriched wheat flour ingredient, and then they go on to list the other ingredients.
But
So
excuse me, miss.
yes, Nardika.
You see how much ingredients that is?
I'm looking at it and I'm saying,
So much
why is it that
ingredients.
these simple snacks
Yes,
have
miss.
these
It's like
tons and
the
tons of
ramen.
ingredients?
Miss, it's like the humble ramen. Now is the cracker.
Yeah.
Miss,
And you
this
know
is-
what?
You know
what
that
else is funny? You know what else is funny? They take the wheat, the whole wheat, they process it and remove the husk that has all the nutrients. And then after they remove the husk and bleach it, then now they're going to add back the nutrients, and some of these are now artificial nutrients they're adding back to enrich the wheat again. So why remove the original thing?
Yeah, because it's because first off, the natural nutrient is better than the artificial. So it doesn't make any sense.
Exactly. So they remove the natural nutrients from the husk. They bleach the flour to make the white flour. And then they're going to add back the nutrients, some of which are now artificial nutrients, plus a ton load of other things. It makes us really have to wonder, should we be taking these things into our bodies? So Coleman is saying being vegetarian doesn't sound like a lot of fun. It actually is a lot of fun, Coleman, especially when you realize that you have made a healthy choice that will prolong your life.
But
But
miss,
excuse me,
miss.
Hold
Being
on,
vegetarian.
Nardika was first.
but excuse me, miss. You see that some of the foods that have so much ingredients, some of them, like, for instance, miss, you're eating them, and like I'm eating them, and like by the next 2 weeks, you heard that I'm in the hospital. So some of the food are like, you see that they have good nutrients, but next day your body, but next day your body do not your body is not made for it.
Mm-hmm.
So you have to be careful with these snacks,
Right.
like
We
the
do
cheese
have
and
to
the
be careful.
Doritos.
Yes.
You have to be careful with these snacks, because miss, between me and you, they are very tricky.
Yes. And you have to make conscious decisions and you have to do your own research, look at the ingredients, do some research, find out what's the source of these ingredients. Are there any side effects? Are there any contraindications? Are there any associated negative effects of these ingredients? We have to do our own research, right? Coleman, what did you have to say?
I was going to say that in our class, our last term just ended at, but in our class in science, we were learning about a balanced diet.
Mm-hmm.
So that diet has to include all the food groups, vegetables, fruits, but it also has to include fats like meat and all of that. So I'm wondering if the only vegetable diet affects you in any way.
Well, all the nutrients can be provided from a plant-based diet. All the nutrients.
Miss
So
can
meat is not the only thing that can supply fat and protein. We have plant sources of fat and protein.
And excuse me, miss.
Yes.
Today at school we were learning about the nutrients. Now we're at like how plants make their food, and it's like this is just coming back to what we learned today.
Yes. Absolutely. Everything ties in. So even when we're doing math, we will find that there are relevant issues in other subjects that apply. Amari, were you saying something?
Miss, I was saying, that if I was to be if I was to like be vegetarian, Miss, I would last like Miss either 2 days or 3 days, Miss.
Why do you think so?
Miss, because I don't think I can last very long, Miss.
Well, you've never tried. Maybe if you tried, you'd surprise
Miss,
us.
I think I would last maybe a couple hours.
Well, you're underestimating yourself, perhaps. You never know until you try.
The only vegetables I really eat right now are lettuce, carrot, and cabbage.
But what about fruits?
Yes, Miss.
I eat lots of fruits.
Right. So you can eat
I
tons
eat
of
banana,
fruit. You can
I eat
have
apple, I eat
nuts.
grape, I eat a lot of fruits.
So
Yeah.
Miss, I could
So
Miss. Now that you said fruits to Miss, I could probably last like a week or a week and some days,
see,
Miss.
that's even better. That's even better.
Excuse
Tanisha,
me.
hi, Tanisha and Omar just joining. Hi, guys, welcome.
Miss, on fruits, I think I would last. I think I would last like 5 6 months.
Exactly. All
Fruit,
right,
because I love fruits.
Shalicia, question.
Question 8. Name 6 oils that the crackers may contain. Question 8. Name 6 oils that the crackers may contain. Miss vegetable oil blend, canola oil, soybean oil, sunflower oil, coconut oil, palm oil, palm stearin oil.
Okay, I do believe that's 6. So that's correct. Name them again quickly, please, Shalicia.
Miss vegetable oil blend, canola oil, soybean oil, sunflower oil, coconut oil, palm oil, palm stearin oil. Miss
Okay,
has
so
all the
a lot of different oils in this cracker. Huh? Coleman, question 9.
Question 9. What do you think is meant by the phrase and slash or? Question 9. What do you think is meant by the phrase and slash or?
And where is that used? Can you see it on the label and or?
Yes, miss. I see it where it says
That's my
soybean
question, Miss.
oil and or sunflower oil.
So what does that mean? And or.
Miss, I think it means that it could include the cracker could include both or it could include one of the two.
Exactly. Miss Reed is saying I don't see her. Miss, I acknowledged you. I said good evening, Miss Reed. Didn't I, guys?
Yes, miss.
Yes,
Yeah,
Miss.
I did. So I don't know how Miss
Yes,
Corley. I did acknowledge you, Miss. And Miss is saying she agrees with Shalicia. All right. So Lorraine is also listing the oils: vegetable oil blend, canola oil, soybean oil, sunflower oil, coconut oil, etc. So Coleman is correct. Wherever you see and or, it means it may contain both of them or either one of them. That's what it means. And slash or. Amari, question 10.
Yes, Miss. Number 10. Why is there a warning that the crackers contains wheat? Question 10. Why is there a warning that the crackers contains wheat? Miss, I think Miss the person could be allergic to wheat. Miss.
That is correct. Persons, a lot of persons nowadays are allergic to a particular substance in wheat called gluten. Have you
Yes,
ever
Yes,
heard of gluten
Miss gluten
allergy?
intolerance, Miss.
Yes, gluten intolerance, gluten sensitivity, gluten allergy.
Miss,
So,
Miss, when I
yes,
was smaller, I was lactose intolerant.
okay.
When I
And
was
what
like
does that
really
mean?
small.
What does that mean, Coleman?
That means I can't really drink many milk. It means I can't drink many milk based products. Like
Okay.
coconut milk or soy, I would drink.
Well, not. Are you saying you can't have coconut milk?
No, I said like coconut milk. Yes,
Mhm.
I would be able to have it.
Okay, so those are the substitutes you could use, but
Yes,
nothing containing dairy.
yes, miss.
All
But
right.
I've grown past that. When my parents told me that, I was like, I was lactose intolerant.
Oh,
I don't even remember.
who to tell? Maybe you have not grown past it, but you're not making the connection between things that might be happening and it. Linda
Miss,
says, hold on, Linda says because someone might be allergic to wheat. That's correct. And Jamaican girl says, Nathan Rowe is working from my device. He's not working. Oh, okay. Miss Reed says they might be allergic or they don't eat wheat. Yeah. And Lorraine also says just in case anyone is allergic to wheat. All right. So we seem to be all familiar with the fact that some persons are allergic to wheat, or more specifically to gluten, which is the protein in wheat. So we're at question 10 and we're going to see if we can accommodate some of the students who are backstage.
please don't switch me out, miss.
Oh my, and this is a terrible job for me, right? I have to decide who to switch. I usually switch those who came on earlier, right? The first ones to come on.
good night,
Good
Miss.
night, miss.
Good night. Tell me the names of the persons who just came on.
Sorry.
And Alana.
Shaheem, Alana, and
Miss Amoy, miss. Miss
Amoy.
I drive back.
oh, Amoy had gotten kicked out. Yeah. All right. So those who are backstage, just stay where you are. You might be coming back on later on. So Shaheem, question 11, please.
Question 11. What was added to condition the dough? Question 11. What was added to condition the dough?
Okay, what was added to condition the dough?
This this says palm kernel oil, invert sugar, brown sugar
Not
contains
all
less
of
than
those things,
2% of
sir. I
sugar.
just want specifically the ingredient that was added to condition the dough.
Miss, sodium
Sodium
metabisulfite.
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 Sodium
Added.
metabisulfite. Okay,
By man,
so
The English language is confusing.
it is actually sodium metabisulfite. Okay, so that was added to condition the dough. Alana, question 12.
How many packs of crackers would weigh just over a kilogram?
Question 12.
Packets.
Okay, miss, thank you. Now, question 12. How many packets of crackers would weigh just over a kilogram?
All right. How many packets would weigh just over a kilogram? How many packets of crackers would weigh just over a kilogram? Any ideas here?
Miss, I'm trying to work it out.
Okay. All right, so Miss Reed gave her answer sodium metabisulfite. Lorraine also sodium metabisulfite for question 11. So we're on to question 12. How many packets of the crackers would weigh just over 1 kilogram?
Miss, would you have to convert the 111 gram to kilograms?
You could if you thought that would help. If you thought that would help, you could. Does anyone have their answer ready for question 12? Anybody in the chat? How many packets of these crackers would we need if we just wanted just over a kilogram? Just barely past a kilogram. Work it out and let me know. If you're backstage, you know you can type your answer in the private chat and I'll certainly read it out for you. Over there on YouTube in the general chat, let me see your answers, please. How many of these packets would weigh in at just over
Miss,
a kilogram? Yes.
um, since 1 kilogram is equal to 1,000 grams, miss,
Mm-hmm.
and the on the pack on the bottom of the package it says that it has 3.97 ounce, which is 112 grams. You'd have I think you'd have to divide the 112 by 1,000 and you will get 0.112, and after that you'd have to try to take it away from the 1,000.
Hmm. I'm not sure I would go with you down that road. Who was speaking? Who just spoke?
Alana.
Alana, I don't think I would hold your hand down that road. I can see where you would say, okay, 1,000 grams and divide by the 112, but I don't see how you got the 0.00 thing. I'm not seeing that. Anybody else? Shalicia? I think I saw. So Nordika says she got 8. Shalicia says she got 8. Odelea got 9. Nordika changed her mind. Shalicia, how did you get 8? And Odelea,
Miss,
how do you get 9?
Miss, I got 9 by. So for one packet of crackers, they say it weighs 112 grams, miss.
Mm-hmm.
So we have, and it asks how much packets of crackers would weigh just over a kilogram. And we know that 1,000 grams equal a kilogram. And if you multiply 112 by 9, we get 1,008, which is just a bit over a kilogram. So I say just 9 packets of crackers would weigh just over a kilogram, miss.
And you are right, madam. You are absolutely
Miss,
right. Yes. Yes, go
Miss,
ahead.
Miss, I got 9 packets, Miss, when I multiplied 112 times 9, Miss. Miss, I got 1,108, Miss. Miss, and I know that 1,000 grams equal to 1 kilogram, Miss. Miss, it would be 1 kilogram, Miss, and 108 grams, Miss.
Okay. So Shalicia said, Shalicia realized her mistake. So she realized now that it's 9 and not 8. So Alana says she does not understand, right? So you could actually round it off in your head and use trial and error for those who love to do the trial and error, right? Or you could divide the 1,000 by 112. But if you're not so versed on dividing by a 3-digit number, you can just think in your head, okay, so in 1,000, how many hundreds would you have? Since 112 is close to 100, right? We know there are 10 hundreds in 1,000. 112 is more than 100. So you could try 8 or 9, which are close to the 10. If you multiply them, if you use 8, it would not quite reach the 1,000. But 9 would take it just over 1,000, which is 1,008. And the question said it would just go over 1,000 grams or a kilogram. So that's why we're saying it's 9 of these packets. All right, Amoy, question 13.
Okay, Miss. Question 13. What are your options for contacting the company? Question 13. What are your options for contacting the company? Miss, you can either email the company or call the company.
Mm-hmm.
Or
Okay. Anything
Miss
else?
or can go online.
You can go online to their website, right?
Yes,
So here's their website, www.notbake.com, right? So you can send them an email at this email address here. You can call them, or you can visit the website, and more than likely there will be a contact option on the website, right? So we have those options. If for whatever reason we need to contact them. Odelia,
Yes, miss.
question 14.
Okay, number 14. What is an easy way to remember the telephone number? Number 14. What is an easy way to remember the telephone number? Um, an, an easy way to remember the telephone number is to, like, miss, I don't know how to explain it, miss.
Miss, can I explain it?
Miss, can I?
Miss,
Go ahead.
Miss, you will basically just remember the 9-2, Miss. Miss, it's the same thing as yesterday, Miss, with the
Right.
keyboard. Miss, so all you have to do is look on the keypad for the word pride, Miss. You would look at the letters, Miss, and the number would be at the top.
Mm-hmm. Right. So different numbers match up with different letters on the keyboard. So a lot of companies, what they do is, in order to help the customer to remember the number, they use a word that the customer can easily associate with the company, right? And once you remember that word, you just type in that word and it automatically matches up with the number. Okay, so the over in the chat, Linda is saying call or email. Jamaican girl call. I don't think it was a toll free number this time. Did it say toll free this time? This number? No, I don't think this number was toll free. But yeah, you can call. Lorraine says you can email the company or call them. There's also a website, don't forget, right? And Miss Reed says for question 14, 1876 Pride. Right? So all we have to do is type in the word and it automatically matches up with the number. Lorraine also explains that. So, which is very convenient for customers because there are so many numbers to remember nowadays, and all you have to, it's easier to remember words that we can associate with the company. All right, so let me see now. We have 2 more questions, and I'm going to ask. Coleman to read question 15. And then Shahim will read the last question. Go ahead, Coleman.
Question 15. By what date is it recommended that you eat the crackers? What might happen if you don't? Question 15. By what date is it recommended that you eat the crackers? What might happen if you don't? Miss, it said, I think that it is recommended that you eat the crackers before the 10th of July 2022 because it said so on the pack.
And what might happen if you don't have the crackers before that date?
Miss, you might get sick because it's expired. So you might get sick.
Right. So if you consume a product after the expiry date, it's likely that you might get sick, right? All right. So Linda says July 10, 2022. That is the best before date, right? Because you could get sick. You have to be careful. Remember, these products are made from ingredients that have a shelf life of a certain time. Different ingredients last longer than some ingredients last longer than some. Some are more perishable. And so you have to really read the label to see, is it likely to be stale? Is it likely to have started to spoil? And if it is, then it's definitely not safe for you to eat it or drink it. All right, Shahim, you're taking us out with the last question.
Yes. Which company produces the crackers? Which company produces the crackers? This is pretty obvious. Continental Baking Company.
Okay, read it again for me, Shahim.
Which company produces the crackers? Manufactured by Continental Baking Company.
All right, so it's Continental Baking Company, right? So I misread your answer just came in. You could get sick. Lorraine is saying there is a chance the crackers could have expired. And certainly by this date, because we're now in 2023, so there's no way we would be buying this pack of crackers now, right?
Yes, miss, it would be expired.
How long ago did it expire?
A year.
Is it exactly a year ago?
No, miss.
No, miss, it's a year and a couple months because January 10th passed this year and it would have been a year.
It's July 10.
Oh, July.
July 10 don't reach out.
Miss, it has been 7 months and some days.
So from July 10, so we have August, September, October, November, December, January, February, March. It's 8 months and some days. 8 months and 5 days.
Oh.
Right? It's expired 8 months and 5 days ago. So
I
definitely,
wouldn't enjoy eating that pack of crackers.
definitely not. Definitely not. All right. So we have come to the end of
Miss,
tonight's question.
Miss, I have
Yes?
a question.
Go ahead.
Portmore.
What's the question?
Miss, are you having 8 o'clock class too?
8 o'clock class.
Yes.
My 8 o'clock class is a CSEC ad math class. So it's not a PEP class. Yes,
Ah.
Excuse me,
I
miss.
do have.
Excuse me, miss. I also have a question.
Go ahead.
Why did you stop putting that short video at the end of each class, where it would have like the same thing at the start of each class?
I'm going to have a new one.
Oh.
I don't want it to. I think that has expired. So we need a new, fresh one, don't you think?
Yes, miss.
Yeah,
I
we need.
wonder if it can be like a video where all of the students just are in the video talking about the pep math classes.
All of the students are in the video. Well, I want it to be an introductory, just a short little. You don't want the introductory video to be long. Maybe just a 1 minute clip, right?
Yes, miss, where we all say welcome to the Kemet Maasai Academy pep mathematics, and then tell a little about each class and all of
That's an
that.
idea. I'd have to ponder that idea.
Excuse me,
Bye,
miss.
Miss Reed. Hold on. Linda is asking me for the link. Linda, I post the link every session. You just have to scroll up and you'll see the link and you can join the studio crew. Yes, Nardika?
Well, miss, if you're going to do that, you have to do that on Zoom. Because when you do that on Zoom, everybody will get to
On
participate.
Zoom?
Yes, miss.
Yay!
But miss, here's the thing with Zoom. Zoom is very, very, very mean. I can tell you that, miss. Zoom is very mean.
Zoom is what? Mean?
Very mean. Miss, you will have like 1,000,000 participants, miss, and when you look again, you have 200 participants because Zoom just kicked them off.
Oh. Well, that's what
It's
happens when you use a free service, right? If you're using the free service, you're likely to get treated in that way.
Miss,
So
what about Google?
you'd have to use the premium service. Hold a
miss
second.
most of the es-
Lorraine is asking a question. Lorraine is saying, bye, miss. Have a wonderful night. Also, I have a question. If the cracker is expired July 10 and July 9, could it be expired? Well, the thing is, the date that is posted is the date that is suggested for you to have it by that date. You actually could have it a couple days after and it's not spoiled. To be honest with you, it's not that exactly at that date it must be spoiled, right? It could be still fresh, to be honest. But they're just giving you a date to work with that they're saying round about this date you have to be careful. right?
Miss I saw on Google, Miss if you Miss there's so Miss I saw on Google that if you put eggs in the freezer, then then it will if even past the expiration date they would still be good, Miss.
No, I tried that and it did not work.
Oh, well,
Well,
Miss is also Miss is also the same for bread too, Miss.
you put bread in the freezer. I'm
It's
sure
just
that's going to be
Yes,
so soggy when you're using
yes,
no,
it.
and it's gonna
Miss
be
you just
rotten.
Is
Miss
that worth doing all of that to get soggy bread to eat?
no Miss
No,
is not
I
miss.
mean,
soggy there, no, Miss.
It's
Miss
not soggy.
no Miss you
Miss, I
just
think it's
Miss all I
worth
do
all of that if you're gonna put it in like
But
cards.
but there's a
Cause
Miss
thing,
all
miss.
you
If
have to
you
do Miss is just like fry it a little, Miss, and then it goes back to its
if
original form.
let's say okay, current is gone, right? And the fridge, there's no current in the fridge to keep the bread that you put in the fridge to keep it cold. It's
Mm-hmm.
going to melt and then the bread is going to eventually get soggy because all
Yeah.
of that ice that is
Mhm.
on the bread bag is going to eventually melt, and that is going to cause the bread to get soggy. So
That's what
there's
I'm
like
thinking too.
Yes, Miss, but Miss, if it, Miss, let's say it didn't, Miss, the current didn't go out, Miss, to prevent it from getting soggy, Miss, you don't put the bread under water, Miss, you like get, Miss, you can get like a frying pan, Miss, and then like, Miss, like toast it to the amount where you feel that it went back to normal, Miss. Miss, it
that I
actually
don't
works, you know.
let's
Miss,
alright. So
I
you
agree
said
with
the current is not.
Arbari's plan.
Miss,
I
you know
agree
that,
with it.
Miss, it actually works, Miss.
Look, alright.
I
So
think
Excuse
let's
me.
say the current
I'll
is
take
not.
your word for it. I'll take your word for
If the
it.
current, let's say the current is not gone, and you have current in the fridge, and you still want some toast bread, and the bread is too hard to even break apart to put it in the pan, you're going to have to let it sit, and you're going to have to let it thaw out for a little while. So the bread is still going to eventually get soggy. Away.
Well, or you could just like leave it on the counter for a little while, not too long, and then if it's too hard to cut, you just get a knife and then just cut it and put it in the frying pan, and then the bread is
That's
all right to eat.
you're wasting energy.
Well, I have a lot of energy.
Good,
Yeah,
good for
agreed.
you.
Excuse me, miss.
Yes, Nardika.
Well, I saw something on YouTube that if you put milk, like you have this bottle of milk, right? I have two.
Mm-hmm.
There's two things I saw on YouTube, and they said if you put milk in the freezer, miss, this is crazy. If you put milk in the freezer and you took it out and you drink it, it do I and it passed the expiry date
Yeah.
and you drink it, it will taste fresh. And
Wow.
also, there's one more that if you put milk in the fridge, you have to put like salt in the
Mm-hmm.
milk, shake it up, um, lock it like always, put it in the fridge, and by the expiry date, it tastes like fresh milk.
Wow.
Well, the
Miss, I
freezer, because the freezer is at a very, very, very low temperature, it's likely
yes,
that it could preserve the thing longer than the regular storage
That's it.
condition.
yes, miss.
Definitely.
Miss, I also tried it before, and miss, when I put the salt in the milk, miss, and when I taste it, miss, it tastes so bad.
Exactly. That's what I was
It
gonna
tastes
say.
so
Miss,
bad, miss.
Because
My
you're adding because when you put in you add the salt in the let's say you use the regular
exactly.
cow milk, right? The cow milk is already fresh. You're gonna add salt on it. That's gonna make it taste even worse. Plus you're gonna put it in the
Exactly.
freezer again, and then after the expiration of date, you're gonna drink it. That will cause you're gonna be sick if you do that.
And I actually got sick.
Miss, I heard, Miss, at my old school, Miss, I heard one of my friends, Miss, they were telling me that that um that they put their eggs in the freezer, and I said, why would you put your eggs in the freezer? And then he said, you do if you want them to last.
I've tried that before, and it is something like, let's say I put the sometimes when I go to the supermarket, the egg is in the freezer, like the clear ones are in the fridge. So and then you take them out like they're cold. So when you come out eventually, you can't just leave them on the table because they already was in the fridge from the supermarket.
Well, it sounds like we have a group of scientists here who have been doing experiments with food.
Miss the
So you should write down your findings and
Excuse me, miss.
comparison.
Miss, the only things I don't believe actually work, miss, was the egg and miss, yeah, miss, just the egg, miss. Miss, I, miss the milk, it will last, you know, miss, but it won't taste, miss. I don't know how to explain myself. The milk would last, miss, but miss, I think Nordica's mistake is putting salt in there. It would probably last if she just left it alone.
Yes, left it in the fridge without any
Try
salt.
run an experiment.
I
Excuse
agree.
me, miss.
But
One
miss
with
the
the
bread,
salt and one without the salt.
but miss the bread actually works, miss.
Excuse me, miss.
To try
Excuse
that
me, miss.
again.
Okay.
Excuse me, miss.
Now
Miss, um, we are a couple of scientists, right, miss? But there are different kinds of scientists. Miss, I'm not interested in the like sciences where you just experiment potions. I like scientists that like experience what is going to happen in the skies.
Wow.
So like me,
I'm more.
I'm
I'm
interested
be
and
an astronaut.
miss, I like to study the space. I like to study
Mhm.
what is going to happen. Miss, there's two things I would like to say. Miss, tell me if they are crazy. Miss, the one time I was watching a video, it was like, what if? And it says they want Mars. They want anything that's supposed to be happening to Earth. They want us to live on Mars. So they send someone to go on Mars and stay there for a couple of months. Remember, miss, when you're in space, it's not like down in Earth. If you're in space for one day, it's like for a year.
Mhm.
So is they stay there for a year, and miss, they didn't survive. Now, miss, they found this planet. I don't know if it's J21b. I don't know. I have to watch it again. But they found a planet with a lot of water. Miss, they said they want that so we can habitable on it if anything's supposed to happen to Earth. Miss.
Would you volunteer to go and try and live there?
Mm-mm.
No,
On behalf of
miss.
the
Miss,
rest of
if
the world?
anything's
Means
supposed to
because
be
you can't
happening,
if you
miss, if
Is there
anything's
any
supposed to
one
be
of you brave enough to volunteer to go
I
and try
would
it
Miss,
out?
miss,
let me
but
tell
I'm
no,
not
let me tell
miss.
you what I would
like
do, miss.
I
Miss,
would, but I can't swim.
Miss, Miss, I've only told one person this, miss. But what I really want to do, miss, I want to do the other things that I told people about, miss. But what I really want to do, miss, you know the animals that hate each other, miss, like, miss, the dangerous ones like lions and tigers that hate each other, miss. Miss, I want to go up to a lion and then go up to a tiger, miss, and I want to see them, miss, being friends, miss. I don't care how dangerous it is, miss. I want to do that before I die, miss.
Wow.
Why would you want to do
Good
that?
statement. Good
Because
statement.
miss, I love miss, I love both of the animals, miss. And miss, I
They're
realize,
predators.
miss,
They
I
are
know,
predators. It's
Miss, I
not
like
not
tigers.
in the
miss,
nature of things for
some
them
are,
to be friends.
miss, I know, miss, but
Miss, but they can hunt together.
miss, I watched on YouTube, miss, and I saw a lion and a tiger, miss. They were actually playing together, miss.
It's not
Miss,
their nature to be friends. Um, so for you to force that, you'd be going against the
Yeah.
natural order
And
of
they
things.
might eat
Well,
you.
We as humans, we tend to we tend to think of other animals in terms of how we would do things, where we project our way onto them, and it's not necessarily the right thing to do. They
Yeah.
are who they are, and they like what they like, and they don't like what they don't like, and we shouldn't force them to be like.
Yes. Exactly, miss. Miss, because if you force them to do like
Miss, they
Oh,
If
might
you fought,
attack you.
if
Miss, they
let's
might
say
attack with you.
Amari went up to a lion and a tiger, and the tiger and the lion started looking at him, and then he was
Oh
saying,
no.
beef, like he was saying in his mind, please don't let them eat me or try to come and kill me. And then after that, he's like saying, God, I want them to be friends. And then after you look, the two predators are running to him to try to eat him. So
mm,
because
One
they
thing they probably
exactly.
might do
They
together.
are
Miss,
predators. They are
miss, you know,
predators.
one thing they might do for each other, miss, I'm not saying the male ones, miss, they will eat each other, miss. But miss, you see the females, miss, they probably, miss, like if miss, like example, they see a bull like trying to attack their cubs, miss, and
Mm-hmm.
miss, maybe both of the females will like jump in there to try and save them while working together, miss.
Mm-hmm.
So, but miss, I would not expect that from a male, miss, because the male, it would just miss, it would just wait for the bull to just kill the cubs and then just eat them all, miss. I've seen that on a video before, miss.
Yes.
animals eat their own babies, like
Yes, miss.
dogs,
Miss,
cats.
like if miss, for example, a person gets too close to them, to the babies, and like take them away from them, they will abandon them. They can eat them, miss, and miss.
Yes.
Right. That's my
If they
point.
get
They don't have the same morality that humans have. They are not human.
So
yes,
if
miss.
you
And so we
Excuse,
can't judge them by our standards. They have
excuse
their
me,
own
miss.
standards.
so
I,
if
I
we
want to say two things. First off, there have been it had there have been as there is a species like called liger, and like in the name it's I don't know if it's a forced breed, but it's a breed between tiger and lion in the universe. There's a liger.
Is
And
that real,
there's also a Tigon.
miss? That's real, miss.
Yeah, they're
Yeah,
both real, the
Miss,
liger
I
and the
did not,
Tigon.
miss,
But these
I
are
never.
things, these are creations of humans. Humans
yes, we force
have
them.
force bred them.
So
Miss, that's
like
bad.
so like they would
Just
actually they want to put them together, miss, because when I was like watching a YouTube video, they're like two animals, they're like the angriest animal and the like two birds, the largest one and the other one that is pissed about the other one, and then they wanted to have a breed of the two of them together, which when they put them together in a cage, they started to fight, feathers started to blow everywhere and things, so they had to shot them, and then they shot them with a sleeping medicine, what I don't know what it is.
sedative.
Yes.
Sedative.
And then after a while they pulled out one, and then they inject one, and then after they inject one, then the same injection that they took out of um that other animal means they inject it into the other animal. Then after a few months, we realize that the bird was gonna have baby birds.
Miss,
Okay,
I
so
watched. Miss, one last thing
we
to
have
say.
to wrap up now, scholars. I
Yes,
have
miss,
a
one
class.
last thing to say, miss. Miss,
Just
I
one
watch.
last thing.
Miss, I watched
I
a
have
video.
something to say.
No, we really have to wrap up. I have a class to
Miss,
prepare.
Oh,
so miss, like I saw these two animals, miss. Like they were about to fight, miss. And then a man was throwing stones at them, miss. And then miss, I saw them just looking at each other. And then miss, I was saying in my mind what they were thinking, miss. And then miss, I shouted out, "Let's get them." And then miss, the two animals were running down the man, miss. And then miss, he was found dead, miss.
Hmm.
mm.
I'm not surprised.
Another thing, Amari, I don't think the lion would wait on the bull to kill the cubs. I think the lion would kill the bull and then eat the bull and the cubs,
Yeah,
like
that's
more
what
lunch.
maybe. But
All right, I'll see you on Friday.
bye, miss.
We
Wait,
won't have
Bye,
a session
miss.
tomorrow. No class
Oh,
tomorrow.
Bye,
See
Miss.
you on Friday.
Wait,
Friday.
no classes Friday?
Yeah, no class till Friday.
What? I really want
Please
classes on
remember the
Friday.
Friday class because last week Friday I was here talking to myself. Everybody forgot about the Friday class. So please write that date down, Friday. Okay? And I'll see you then. Take care.
bye, Miss.